So those are the two periods when we start talking about the historical development of education technology in Zambia. Okay, so please, you must ensure that these you understand. Okay, then we go now to government support for education. So after we moved it from that level, now government started now to support. After those eras, and so government started now to support education. How did it government support? How did they support the system? So they are to now to launch some broadcasting radio, instructional radios, okay, television, instructional radios. This brought about the British broadcasting, BBC. Today we are able to hear BBC. Okay, it's a broadcasting. This was established in 1953. Okay. So government, how did it support? So since we are colonized by the British, we saw that the government now started implementing this and then establishing some broadcasting for the purpose of encouraging, for the purpose of facilitating the education technology. So the Zambian government later developed a policy. So this the government, through the Ministry of Education, the policy has been developed. Most of you, I think it's important that you should get hold of the education policy, because you can't be an educator, you can't be a learner if you don't understand the policy. What does the policy of the country say? So I would encourage students, please ensure that you get hold. Just go on the internet, download, check education policy in Zambia 2011. It will come. That is that's a guiding tool which the government. So in support of the education support, government now developed a policy to support educational technology by trying to provide quality education at all points of delivery, wherever you are learning from. Where you are learning in Shangombo, government had to put this. So this is how government supported the education technology, by developing a policy that will guide, the operation and management of teaching and learning processes in the country. So we saw the Minister of Education developing the policy on education, isn't it, to facilitate. So this policy is a guiding tool. It's a document that stipulates how the teaching and the education systems must be operated. Okay, what are the spheres, what is the diversity of learners? So the Minister of Education, basically, we started now putting in money, started employing, teachers. You heard that government recruitment exercise. This is what is there. They started channeling resources into the system and also recruiting educators into the creation of effective systems, effective systems that will attain the objective of teaching and learning, So this has been provided. So this is a positive impact. This leads to a positive impact. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, let's be attentive. This is a positive impact when ministry is moving in to help. So the education, the country's education has been liberalized and decentralized. That's why I've seen that if you go to Northern Province, everything there. You have the DEBs, you have the provincial education officer, you have the DEBs in all the districts. The purpose is decentralization, meaning that the learners must be reached. These are all the efforts of the government to support the education sector. I hope I'm making myself clear. Are you getting clear? Why the government is supporting this? How is the government supporting that? It's supporting the system, the education system, by developing the policy 1, 2, by channeling the resources, and also recruiting the educators in the education system. And we said further that the Zambian education system is decentralized, is liberalized, meaning that we can always access education in all the parts of the country. So the new Dawn government, of course, attaches great importance to the education sector and is alive to the fact that training is indispensable to the country's national development. So the government recognizes that a country's national development can only be achieved through improving education in the country. So we saw in this part of the lecture that we are looking at how government is supporting. So you see that education technology is not left on its own. It's supported by the government itself. Okay. So in line with the support from government, we are saying that the government now started through the Ministry of Education, started now developing and supporting digital platforms. What are these digital platforms? Like the Facebook, Instagrams, okay? Those that we can use now to be able to learn, to accommodate electronic learning. What we are doing here, this is electronic learning. You are out there, and I'm here, but I'm delivering this lecture to reach to all of you guys. This is all about learning, e-learning, and this part of the robust and the revolutionary platform in the education sector. This is quite big impact in the education sector, because we are seeing that you see that people are more involved in the e-learning. They are learning more on the distance, online. Why? What is the advantage? The advantage there is that we reduce the cost. For example, if I come from Northern Province in Impurungu, and I'm supposed to come to Gideon Robert University to learn as a distance student, how much money am I going to spend? I'm going to spend transport fees from there to reach Lusaka. Here I need accommodation, I need food. And for the period that I'll be here, I will need to require sources. So you see that this platform that government was supporting to ensure that people are able to access quality education in the locations where they are. Okay? They can stay in their locations, reduce the cost, they can be at home, or they go to the information centers where they will receive the information. Okay. So from that time, government started investing heavily in the education sector. So further to that, government support, we are saying that, of course, we talked about the government putting in money, and we saw in 2014, okay, the government implementing the ICT policy, okay, in the primary and secondary school education program to provide opportunities for disadvantaged school-aged education. So we are saying that government started promoting the ICT in schools, primary and secondary schools. You remember, if I take you back when COVID came into, when there was COVID, a lot of students were sent home. We were saying, no, we can't be having the classes because we will spread the infection, the disease. So we saw many students, many learners getting back, staying at home. So researchers, people started now developing in terms of technology. But how do we continue delivering our teaching, our knowledge to the learners? How do we do it? So people now started coming up with new solutions. Okay, there's a problem they identify, and then they come up with new solutions. One of the solutions to this was ICT policy, and then developing the online courses, online learning. Okay, so people now started accessing. I remember there are some schools that were like in Lusaka, I think maybe even also maybe in other countries, they were giving students iPads. They give them, they upload the material, they study material at home. They can be able to study at home. They are seated at home, they're able to play the videos, learn from there, and so on. So we saw this, an influx or quite increased number of introduction of ICT technologies, trying now to improve the learning so that it becomes effective. So we have seen that ICT policy was developed by the government in 2014. The purpose was to improve, effectively deliver the teaching and learning environments.